Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. If you were here yesterday for that webinar, welcome back. If you're new to this, hello, how are you doing? My name's Haylie. I'm the education consultant here at EducationCity. I was a teacher prior to joining EducationCity, so I can appreciate how hard everybody's working right now. And I hope that these webinars that we're going to be doing will help you in helping your students in supporting them with distance learning. Now, in today's webinar, we're going to be looking at some ideas for distance learning. So these are just a couple of ideas from across EducationCity that you may be outside of lessons that you can send over to pupils. Just before we get started though, I need to remind everybody that this particular EducationCity login that I'm using is a made-up school. So the children don't exist, the teachers don't exist, just so that you know I'm not breaking any GDPR rules on that. The other thing is that this is an English account, so it will appear against the national curriculum and for years 1 to 6. Please don't worry if you are joining us from Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales or anywhere else. It will just appear slightly differently when you log in, but you will still have all of the same features. Finally, if you have any questions, please wait until the end of the webinar where I will provide you with my email address and you can send them over to me and I will try to reply with an answer as soon as possible. Okay, so let's begin. The agenda for today, this is what we're hopefully going to be going through. Telling the time, always something that some children might find difficult, others may completely excel at it. Same with times tables, really, just covering some of the tools that we have, make learning times tables a little bit more fun. Just going to give you a bit of a maths overview, same with science, and then focusing on phonics and spelling and comprehension. Okay, let's get started. So if I just come out of that and head into EducationCity. Here we go. I am going to be using the new view again for all of our users who are already using EducationCity. This is the current view that you have, but if you click along that top band, click here, it will take you into our new view. I just find this a lot easier to navigate and it has been designed by teachers for teachers, so really, really useful tool. What I'm going to be using today is the subjects area to find all of our tools. You can see it's just there and it's also on that little side panel there that will follow you through EducationCity. So click into that and it will open up our subjects area. The reason why I'm using this is that at home, children will also have access to this as part of their learning. It's called Pick and Play, but you can still access that at home. So if you've got any parents watching, you will find that on your child's login. So just to get started, we're going to look at time. So I'm going to head into the maths area over here. Now we've got time across all of the areas for EducationCity and all of the year groups as well. As we mentioned earlier, it's something that can be picked up at different times for different students. So I'm going to head first of all into Key Stage 1, where we might find some tools that will be able to teach areas of time. So if I head in towards activities. Now for those of you who are new to EducationCity, our activities are exactly what they say on the tin. They are activities that the children can do. It will ask questions of them and all of our activities will get marked for you and that score will go into that child's success tracker. Now, because I'm looking at time, I'm going to go down my units on that left-hand side there onto measurements. And here we go, we'll be able to see some of those time pieces just there. And we can scroll through and we can see which ones appeal to us. I see lots of tools in there for time going through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up towards the top and I'm going to use this topic filter and find the word time. So we can scroll down there. Alternatively, I can type in that word. There we go. So we've got comparing time, maybe measuring time. Just going to look at time and see what tools that we have available. And you can see it will filter down even further. So we can have a look at one of those activities. There we go. It gives us a bit of a summary there as to what it does, and it tells us which national curriculum objectives this tool meets. Again, if you are listening in from Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, or anywhere else, it will link to your curriculum. And then we can scroll through there to see what tools we have. Now, you may have just noticed this one has a Learn screen with it. Again, for those of you who are unfamiliar, I'm just going to open that up for us. Learn screens are a cross between a slideshow and a video. There it is just there. Here we go. So it gives you that sort of objective right at the beginning, and we can press start and it will start talking us through what it is. We can measure time it takes to do something, such as, and it will do that with the stopwatch, and you can flick through using the fast forward and the rewind buttons, or you can head towards one of these slides just there. And maybe if you want to do a little bit more work there, you can pause it for a minute while you have a bit of a chat. So Learn Screens are really, really useful for introducing a unit of work or for refreshing a unit of work that you've already taught. So obviously at the end of this Learn Screen, I get to the very end there, it gives you a couple of ideas of things that you can do at home. So how long does it take you to write your name, do star jumps, skip with a skipping rope, etc. And then linked with that, we have our activity. So it follows straight on and it's already linked for you. And again, if we open that up just so that you can see, there it is just there. We've got our objective again, and we can go through. It gives us a bit of an informal sort of Learn Screen at the beginning there, which we can skip, and then we can focus on answering the questions. You've got a countdown timer at the top there, which you can turn off, and you've got sort of your score at the top there as well. So really, really useful tools there. It's just to close those down and head back over here. Now, as I mentioned in the previous webinar, all of our activities come with an associated activity sheet, and the questions are different, so there's nothing to stop you from doing both. Now, in this mode as well, for you teachers that are listening today, we still have our Add to a My City, so we can click onto that orange plus sign, select the tools that we want to add into a folder, okay, and then this will pop up. Now, although EducationCity has given all schools 24-hour access, it's always worth using that homework function just so that you don't confuse children. And we can type that in there. Just going to pop time, create, make sure it's ticked, and then at the very bottom you can save that. There we go, and that's been added there. So as you can see, loads of time tools that are available, and that's just within our activities. So do explore everywhere else. Now on to our next one, which is multiplication tables. So I'm going to head back along the breadcrumb trail to mathematics. Here we go, and this time I'm going to head into lower key stage 2. Here we go. Now you can see there is already the button for the times tables. This is a really, really useful tool here. We've got all of our multiplication table videos. They are lots of fun and children absolutely love singing along to them. And some of the earlier ones like the 2s, the 5s and the 10s do have actions in. So make sure the children are singing along and sort of doing their actions with those as well. And then they have 3 activities linked with those. So you've got your multiplication activity, your division just there, and then you have your multiplication division challenge, making sure that children understand sort of inverse measures. And the song will also flip over halfway through so that children understand sort of the commutative law in terms of multiplication. Now you can see it's been split up here into those multiplication tables, and at the very bottom we have our multiplication tables check. Now, any year 4 teachers who are listening today, obviously your children were meant to be doing this at the end of the year. But you can still check on what they're doing. You can still sort of see how far along they're coming by using these 3 tools. We do have a 6-second one just here, as per the government standard, but we also have a 10 seconds and a 20 seconds one to build up confidence as well as those instant recall skills. And again, if we open one of those up, you have the function there to add those into a My City. So the next one I wanted to show you was maths. Now we do have so many tools for maths. Please do explore. EYFS, there's some lovely videos for the children to explore just there. Even in upper key stage 2, some really, really useful links just there. And you may have noticed that in every single one from F1 right up to year 6, we have our Play Live just there. This is such a fun game that children absolutely love to play and really good at securing their foundation skills for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. I'm not going to open it right now. It gets slightly addictive, so please do explore that when you have a little bit of time. So that's our maths. As I said, loads of tools in there. Please do explore. I'm going to now head over to science. So I'm going to use that breadcrumb trail again, head over to subjects and into science just here. Same tools available in science as with every other subject, but what I'd like to show you here, if I head into upper key stage 2, I'm going to head over to a Think It. As you can see there by the little thought bubble, I'm going to open that one up. The reason why I love Think It is they're really good at securing knowledge and getting children to explain and justify their reasoning based upon what they've learnt. Again, we can filter just at the top there. But I'm going to head over into property and change the material. There's a really good Think It here called choosing thermal insulators. So if I just open that one up, there we go. So you've got the scenario just there. Granny's hot chocolate keeps getting cold. What can she do to keep it warmer for longer? And at home, you can encourage children to investigate different materials. What could she wrap around the cup that is going to make that warmer or keep it warm for longer? And then within the answers section, we've got our answer just there. And then you've got a question like a next step, greater depth. Could you use the same tool to keep fruit juice cold? Is that same tool going to work? All of our Think It's will either have that next step, greater depth question. A lot of the ones for the younger children do actually have a fun fact or a link to some key vocabulary for whichever area you're exploring. So again, a really, really useful tool that also comes in paper form if you're wanting to print that off and maybe send it digitally via email. So lots of tools in there. Please do explore some really fun things. So I'm going to move now on to phonics. So head into the subjects area, and obviously this time I'm going to head over to English. And if I click onto Key Stage 1, you will see the phonics tools that we have. And if I head into letters and sounds, you will see all of the activities that we have for our phonics resources. And they're split up down the side there into those different versions. So again, these are all activities, so they do get marked for you, but they can be repeated. So children can keep having a go to try and improve their best score. And it's split at the top again. You've got your phase 2, phase 3, and your phase 4 and 5 at the bottom, covering all phonemes, digraphs and trigraphs. There we go, loads of tools in there. And again, we can click through and you can see a lot of them will have the associated learn screen alongside the activity. So supporting the children in their learning of the sound that you're looking at, as well as their attainment just there. Again, activity sheets, and you can pop all of those into a folder using this button just here. So lots of tools. We do even have tools for tricky words. And if I head back to phase 3, you will see at the bottom, we've got some reading skills just there, some consonant digraphs, vowel, tricky words going on as well. And that actually takes us very nicely into our reading comprehension. Obviously, we all know a lot of kids do enjoy reading, but we do need to support those comprehension skills as well. So if I just head back into Key Stage 1, you'll see we've got some videos just here. And if I open that one up, these are different forms of story, if you like, different forms of writing that children can listen to. So we've got non-fiction, poetry just there, and even some CVC words just along there. So really useful, and along the way they will ask questions of the children as well. On that mode, if I just head back to English, we do also have it for the upper year groups. I'm going to head into year 5 and into the Learn screen area. And the great thing about the higher up you get, it is differentiated in terms of earlier on the children can read it or have it read to them, but higher up you go, the children need to start reading them for themselves. And you can see now we've got our different ones going down here, and if I just open up one of these for you, you'll be able to see what that one looks like. So this one is about an old thatched cottage, and it's about reading and discussing